Hello everybody, welcome to the Man Alone Solo Role-Playing YouTube channel. And today we are going to be heading to Earth. Not planet Earth, nay, not high Earth nor low, but Middle Earth. That's right, we're going to be taking a look at the One Ring by Free League's ''S supplement, or I guess expansion, Moria, through the Doors of Durin. Thank you to Free League for providing this for all of the Man Alone subscribers to take a look at together. And speaking of, if you are watching this right now and you enjoy the video or you've enjoyed previous videos, please consider becoming a member. The members of this channel are, let's just say we have a lot of fun. We have a weekly podcast. We're slowly opening up the Discord. There's members-only posts. You get a discount on the new Dragonbane supplement, also by Free League. It's a great time. And I'd invite Free League president to become a member of this channel. Okay, so a little bit of just put this puppy in reverse a little bit here. So the One Ring, this is actually the One Ring 2nd edition, is notable for a few reasons. The first is that it is the best feeling tabletop role-playing game book ever. I love holding it in my hands. This thing is like the absolute highest quality feeling book I've ever had. The design of it is absolutely stunning. The art is beautiful, and there's like both this sort of rich tapestry type art style, the lettering, the design, the little like runic designs around everything just look absolutely beautiful. You have these hand-drawn things. This is an incredible book, and if you are in the know, then you also know that released by Free League, not available in print. And again, if anyone from Free League is watching this, we would love, there's plenty of people that are just holding bundles of money right now saying, please release Strider Mode as a printed supplement, because printing it out in black and white looks like it was grilled. Like I have a grilled solo. It's like got the Frito grill lines on it. That might be my printer's problem because those lines are on every page. Anyways, this is Strider Mode, which is an official solo supplement for the One Ring. And it is a hearty supplement. I'm not sure. Yeah, about 30 pages in here. And again, this is not like some guy named Jeff wrote this in his garage. This is from Free League, and I'm not sure if it says who wrote this here, but it smells like Sean Tompkin. Yeah, Sean Tompkin and Matt Click wrote this, and this is a very strong supplement by many people's standards. The other thing that's really cool about the One Ring and what drew me to it is that it serves as an exception to my normal aversion that I have most of the time. Free League has a way of breaking down all of my deeply held moral rules, but one of them that is usually consistent is I kind of hate playing in known IPs, and Free League, not only with this, but in The Walking Dead, does a pretty good job with this because they create opportunities to build stories outside of the normal sort of frame of whatever it is. So like in The Walking Dead RPG, you're not playing as Rick Grimes or whatever. I appreciate that. You're telling your own story. And the One Ring is really cool because it takes place after like 20 years after Bilbo disappeared, and I think 50 or 60 years before Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings still 50 years away. And so, yes, you're still, in Middle Earth. There's still some familiar characters that might show up or character types. The stakes are the same. It's not like, we're still dealing with the same types of evils. It's not like there's like the big bad of this book isn't like a real estate problem or something, but because it has space between those very well-known, perhaps some of the most well-known IPs in the world, it gives you the flexibility to create stories on your own and not constantly feel like you're violating the truth of that world, which is the reason that I usually shy away from commercial IPs, because it's like, I don't want to have to, both as a GM or a solo player, I don't want to have to balance like creating a world on the fly while at the same time negotiating the, sort of stalwart components of whatever universe I'm in. So I've always appreciated that about the One Ring. And now Moria has been out for a little bit, and I have been definitely not blissfully unaware. I've been tragically unaware of the fact that this contains its own set of solo rules. And not only does it have its own set of solo rules, it has apparently some pretty substantial solo rules that expand on some ideas in Strider mode. So I reached out to Free League. I said, hey, Free League, I got to see these solo rules. And Free League said, you betcha. And sent this over. And we're going to open it up now, and I don't know why I'm doing this with an extremely sharp blade. This could be something that makes a lot of people angry if I were to slice this open accidentally right now. Okay, I made it. So let's just take a look really quick at the back. A king, he was on carven throne in many pillared halls of stone. Let me do a little zoomy zoom here. A king he was on carven throne in many pillared halls of stone with golden roof and silver floor and runes of power upon the door. For long ages, the great city of Dwaradelf was the seat of dwarven, I guess it's Dwaradelf, of dwarven kings. Deep they delved beneath the roots of the mountain in search of Mithril, the fabled Moria silver. Wonders they wrought here by the light of crystal lamps, but 1,000 years ago, Durin's bane arose and drove the dwarves from their halls. The city fell into darkness, becoming an abode of orcs, goblins, and worse. What could be worse than orcs and goblins? I guess like, I don't know, a subscription to Bravo. No harp is rung, no hammer falls. The darkness dwells in Durin's halls. The shadow lies upon his tomb in Moria in Khazad Doom. But now there is hope. Countless orcs perish at the battle of the five armies, and it may be the halls of Durin lie empty once more, waiting to be reclaimed by those with the courage to face the long dark under the mountain. Maybe there are piles of treasure there waiting to be claimed. Maybe Mithril still glimmers in the mines under Caradhras. Cross the dread threshold, adventurer, and delve deep. Moria is a supplement to The One Ring, the official tabletop role-playing game based on the works of Tolkien, set in years before Balin's doomed expedition. This supplement contains a horde of patrons, landmarks, foes, and encounters and treasures that a lore master can use, from a single desperate journey in the dark to a grand campaign. And this is copyright 2024, so it hasn't been out too long. However, we're nearing the end of 2024 now, so I was just very excited to hear that it had solo rules and that there are solo rules for this now in print. And again, another message for Free League. And Free League, I'm being a real bro to you right now, okay? So don't feel like I'm coming down on you. But I was very overjoyed to see that you have a solo section of your website. In fact, I'm going to bring that up right now. I tried to pause right there, and it didn't pause. All right, there she is. So Free League has this awesome section of their website that is specifically dedicated to solo play. I want to thank Free League because it's one of the major game companies that really focuses and recognizes the solo player. But I just want to let you know that you have some solo modules to add to this, including Moria here, as well as your new game Electric State, which we reviewed on the channel a few days ago. So, you want to make sure that people are aware of your awesome solo products, because there's more of us out there than you think. And yeah, and this Me, Myself, and Die, great channel. That's been up there for a while. Might be cool to, feature some other YouTube channels up there from time to time. Anyway, so yeah, that's just a little public, or I guess private service announcement. So this is Moria Through the Doors of Durin. Again, just like the other book, the main book. This is very high quality. Let me get a little better lighting. And we always appreciate books on this channel that are not over glossed, so that we can light them well without being blinding. And just going to transfer these here. These are the dice for the core book, second edition core, and I assume that they are the same official Free League dice that we're going to use here, but we'll find out. It's like, yeah, once you open the book, come on, let's go. But these are the symbols on them for both, I believe actually for this one, both 11s and 12s. I could be wrong there, but anyways, we'll talk about that, folks. Okay. So right on the inside, we have another incredible map. This one actually really, really cool. And I want to say, so let me just say my assumptions right now about this game going into it. My understanding is that this is like a super dungeon delve, this game, which is really cool. I mean, that is definitely makes me excited about this. There's a couple things that I'm like a little bit intimidated of for the One Ring. And I'm sure like once I get it down, it would be a little bit easier, but, I know there are some combat things that, for me, as somebody who is not a crunch bar, but is not also likes, some rich mechanics, sometimes I get a little bit nervous when there's too many combat options at the same time. And I don't want to over assume anything here, but I know in One Ring, there was something like different options for combat position. I'm not sure if you have to follow that, but I know seeing that set off like a little bit of the crunch alarms in my head, but let's not take that for granted here, because I would much rather that we look forward to the fact that chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A for appendix, and then look at this, S for solo play. And I don't really know what to say here, because this honestly looks like it's all solo stuff. I mean, I thought maybe it was just here, but then you have solo tools. Whew. Friends, we might be in for a real treat right now. But I would not lead you into Moria if there were no hope of coming out again. All right, so, yep, same sort of gorgeous, like pencil-drawn art, and giving some years of history. Unlike in the core book, this is specific to the city. This is kind of cool. Let's actually take a look here. Moria in your game. A key question. Is this to be a quick excursion into Moria or a series of expeditions? A single adventure in Moria emphasizes the horror and danger of the dark underground domain, plunging the player heroes into a labyrinth of unlikely perils, and makes the experience so harrowing that they swear never to return. A longer expedition, like Balin's attempt to reclaim the realm, needs to take a slower, more measured approach. A second important question, are the player heroes going into Moria at the behest of a patron, or is it their own scheme? A patron lets the lore master assign objectives to the company. So this is from a solo perspective. That right there is also getting me excited when there's like a patron sort of mechanic, like in, we think Carnage and Ether the other day by Alex T. This is giving us lots of opportunities for quest and achievement-based solo play, and that's that's something that it gets the solo juices flowing. A little bit of places where the characters might hear, or the players might hear about lore from lore masters and patrons, from family secrets jealously held by dwarves, through fellowship undertakings, from records or inscriptions, and in the dreams or from ghostly apparitions. So it looks like right off the bat, a lot of this is directed to the GM, which is good. I think as far as this goes, this is something that would usually be bought by a GM, right? This is great. False rumors from failed lore rolls. Now, I think this is a really, really good mechanic, especially for solo play, because you want there to be a possibility that the information you're getting might be true or might not be true. Now, what I would actually like, and what I would do if I am solo playing a longer campaign, is I might take this and the true rumors and mix them together. And so that I didn't know if I was getting the right or the wrong thing. So this is Journeys in the Dark. When the company enters Moria with the intention of reaching a known location, or to travel through the ruins to exit the opposite way, then the lore master must apply the following adaptation of the journey rules. The following rules require the Moria map in collaboration between the lore master and players to determine what happens along the way. I'm not sure if I got it. Oh, it looks like Free League put a little treat in. A little bit. Oh, okay. It's gone. No, a little treat. All right. So this is going to be the map at the front of the book. But even if you didn't have this, it's a generous double page map. Oh, man. Oh, no. BB's going to kill me. This might have to go up on the wall. Look at this. I'll step the camera back really quick here. Awesome. Okay, so this is cool. So this is not only like a little bit, the map is on the other side, but we've seen that already. This is a complete explanation of the combat range, and this is a combat diagram, offers a new way of managing stances and engagements. It's like I asked and they delivered. So opening volley, choose stances, engagement, player hero actions, adversary actions, and start a new round. And then at the end, there's instructions for fleeing, and it says, "Fly, you fools." Awesome. Okay. So we'd lay the map out on the table if we were playing with a group, but here in the solo community, we don't need friends. We're our own friend. Self high five. All right. Searching for Mithril. So yeah, finding that Mithril is going to be a big journey motivator. And we have dwarven houses. And then these are the different patrons. You have Guldi the Watcher, Ibn, Daza the Red-Handed, Nal of the Iron Hills, John Stamos. That's a weird inclusion. Oh no, Haldir of Lorien. I misread that. Tharnau, son of Gurnau. All right, let's get back to it. Oh, cool. All right, so then broken down here is different themes. And you can do themes of wonder or themes of sorrow. Lots and lots of options here. This is a peril table. If player heroes refill and open the high cistern, then the waters in the eastern portion of Moria become drinkable again. That's really cool. Moria journey events, event target, eye awareness in Moria. Okay, the core rulebook outlines the main methods for increasing a company's eye awareness. So that's going to, for the dice. And we can see here that, in fact, yes, it is a little bit different. It looks like the elven symbol is the 11, and then the Sauron symbol is the 12. But it's not really the 12. It's like less than 12. So it's really a D10 with two symbols on it. So these are dire portents, orc assaults, terrors of the dark. Whew. This is looking really, really, really good. for solo play already. We're not even in the solo section. Random chamber generator. I might have to do a playthrough of this. Condition table, appearance table, random orc band generator. So you're definitely going to have the core book, it looks like, because we're going to need to use a lot of those mechanics. I don't think this is standalone. Let me see. Moria, the One Ring, Middle Earth are places that are in. Registered trademarks. I'm going to do a quick search just to see what it says about like whether you need the core. I keep pressing this pause button that doesn't work anymore. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't outright say it, but it's pretty clear that this is like an adventure for your group playing One Ring, because there's not like a full rule set or anything there. So I'm a little bit in the dark because, well, not in the dark, but it's been a little while since I've played One Ring, and so I'm gonna have to review that a little bit before I do a playthrough on this. We'll do that sometime over the next few months, but I just wanted to crack this guy open first and look through it with you here. So we're going to have bestiary here. Looks awesome. And stats, endurance, might, hate. Oh, that's great. Is that like aggression, I wonder? I'm too curious. I got to look it up. Okay, that's right. So hate is actually the like inverse of the hope mechanic for player characters, which is, it's sort of, you can apply it to different roles, or you can use it to, I forgot what they are, like cultural abilities, I think. So the hate mechanic is sort of the inverse of that for the enemies. And I keep lowering my page here. Okay. So, bestiary, mansion of the dwarves, entrances by landmark. So this is now highlighting different areas with awesome maps. Very clear. A nice 2 tails. Nice. You get 2 tails in this book. We love tails. Old Moria. The Dwaro Delph. The King's Hall. Oh, Engoloth. 130 endurance with a hate of 11. Okay, so yeah, I think we get it. And I think around, what was it, page 180, we're going to now get to the solo. So what is that at? 23 minutes. Not bad for a man-alone video. Okay. Oh, no, not yet. I, too, once passed the Dimrill Gate. All right, so yeah, this is just more adventure. Magical Treasure Index. What is this here? Mithril Weapons. I think we're looking at some loot in this game, friends. Dwarves. Solo play in Moria. Balin has set up a seat in the chamber of Miserable, and I know BB, my fiance, is not going to like my mispronunciations of this, and many of you are already mad. Okay, so here it is. Strider mode. Solo play within Moria is complementary to Strider mode, a supplement for the One Ring that offers rules and tools for solo play, including expanded events for overland travel. You can utilize Strider mode in addition to these guidelines if your adventures take you beyond the confines of Moria. However, Strider mode is not required to play a solo campaign in Moria. If you prefer to explore Moria as a lone hero without the aid of a band of allies, you could use Strider mode alongside some of the resources herein to help depict your lone exploration. Okay, so that I already knew. This is a differentiation here, is that Strider mode, obviously Strider is a lone hero, but the solo play in this supplement, or this, whatever you want to call it, is set so that you'll have a group. You're going to actually put together like a group. With these guidelines and tools for solo play, you'll explore Moria as a member of Balin's expedition, leading an intrepid band of dwarves. You and your allies will face vast darkness and long-lost mysteries, entrenched foes and hidden perils, all in pursuit of a single lofty goal: to return the heart of the Misty Mountains to its rightful keepers. Okay. See page 176 to learn more about the history of Balin's expedition. The solo campaign offers rules and tools for managing. Okay. You will create a character, recruit the starting members of your band, and set off on perilous missions in pursuit of the dream of a restored Khazad Dûm. As a solo player, you imagine these missions and take action from the perspective of your player hero, but you also resolve the actions of your band of allies, introduce encounters, create details. Your rules will include guidelines for battle and journeys alongside your allies. Inspirational tools and tables in these solo rules and elsewhere in this supplement offer the means of answering questions and generating events and locations during a mission. Once a mission is completed or abandoned, you return to the safe haven of Balin's outpost in the first hall to rest, recover, and plan your next foray. So right now, this does sound, other than the fact that, there's going to be obvious contextual differences, but it does sound like the general setup of it, at least on the front end, looks a little bit like Sean Tompkins' other solo supplement, Alone in Deepfall Breach. Because in that one, you kept returning to, I forgot what it was, the place where the Wolfkin was that kind of sets you off on your journeys each time. But we'll see how it's the same and how it's different. I'm going to look to see if there's a specific GM screen for Moria. Oh my gosh, I nearly forgot. And no, there's no GM screen for specifically for Moria. So Moria is still kind of fresh out of the box, as is this starter set I got for the One Ring from eBay. And it said that it had some slight box damage, and it just, just a little bit here. Look at this. So I'm wondering, though, not wondering, I'm pretty certain that these cards will probably be useful. Cards were all intact. And then also this is sort of a stance guide that came with this. But I'm thinking it might be nice to keep this like quick start of the rules handy. That might be a good way to play Moria. I'm almost wondering if you can get away with, if you don't have like the core book for One Ring, if you can get away with like using this. Oof. Yeah, this was so funny. I have to say, after the video, I did reach out to the person who sold it to me, and I said, hey, I knew I was getting this at a discount, but man, this was like, they didn't tell me that it was like waterlogged and stuff like that. But they ended up actually giving me a refund, which was really nice, and more than I expected, actually. Oh yeah, I thought this was a map that came in here, but it's just this this poor box. My goodness. Okay. So, yeah, and I wish, too, that the starter set has some pre-gens. We can keep those handy as well. And I think it has, this overland map as well. So, after this video is done, I'm just going to play through this a little bit, because I'm going to put this on my... I'm going to see if this is a game that will be worth not my time but your time for me to play it on video, because as you may know if you follow this channel for a while, some games, especially if they're very narrative based, I can be... Oh, this is nice. The box set, I think, had on top of everything, it seemed to still have water in it, so I got a little water right there. Very good. Yeah, sometimes when I play, I'm just not the right guy for games that are quite crunchy, so we'll see what kind of game that is. But I digress. We don't need to go through the starter set right now, but that's where it is. In the back of the starter set does have like a little bit of a mini GM screen there, if you can stand the gnarling sides of this box. So we'll keep that on hand just for a quick reference there. And on with the show. How in the world? Oh, I had a plant over it. It must have dripped on that box. Ah, that poor starter box. Okay, so let's see here. Crafting your player hero. As a solo player, your newly created character receives additional points to spend on skills and combat proficiencies, representing the resolve and competence that led them to serve as a trusted member of Balin's expedition. So when allocating your previous experience, page 46 in the One Ring Core, you have 15 points to spend instead of 10. So in terms of we can actually look at one of these character sheets would probably be a little bit easier. Looking at here, some stuff is going to look very familiar for Dragonbane in that we have, it looks like different skills down here, but rather than there being like 1 to 18 as it might be in Dragonbane, it looks like you check this off as you increased it, and then you have wits, heart, strength, endurance, target number. So kind of an interesting character sheet there. So you'd have 15 points instead of 10. And so let's see here. I wonder almost, if 7, 9, 10, 11. Okay, no, that's not 10 points. Okay. As a leader in Balin's expedition, you are almost certainly one of Durin's folk. However, Balin knew better than most the value of allies, so you can feasibly originate from any culture. Your calling, you and your band have a shared calling and motivation that connects you and put you on this path. Some cultural virtues offer benefits partly or solely for a company of player heroes, and the allies among your band are not created as standard player heroes and are not considered a company for the purpose of applying benefits from virtues. Thus, be mindful of making a selection. So they're almost like companions plus, it feels like. And then you have a fellowship score, which signifies the connections you share with your allies and your ties to the broader community. You have a fellowship score equal to 3+ additional bonuses from virtues, cultural blessings, and your patron, +1 for Balin. And then it says down here that these rules are geared for solo play, but can be used for a cooperative play style. Fellowship focus. When playing as a solo player hero, you do not have a fellowship focus. You can ignore this aspect. Hope and shadow. You're going to adjust for that. When creating your player hero, raise your maximum hope by 5 points to represent your support. And then your patron in this is Balin himself, a dwarf lord and descendant of Durin. Okay. And it looks like you have a fellowship advantage of Balin's council. Spend fellowship to make a combat roll or a roll in battle favored. Advantage. Your band comprises trusted member of Balin's folk who accompany your player hero. Each member of the band is an ally, a steadfast dwarf, or dwarf friend. At the start of a campaign, you have a fledgling band of 6 allies. As you complete missions and gain standing among the folk of Balin's expedition, you recruit additional members. Each ally has a quirk. Now, this to me seems like it's going to offer us some more replayability and expanded campaign possibility than perhaps was available in Alone in Deepfall Breach. I was actually talking to some folks today who said, one of the things that happened with Alone in Deepfall Breach is, especially if they were more novice, they went through the different waypoints. And just to be clear, Alone in Deepfall Breach is like an 8-page solo supplement just to sort of like get people's, get them in the mindset of that solo play. It's not a fully fleshed out solo supplement as maybe Strider mode is. So, but that they felt like after a while it was like a lot of combat. And so if they wanted to expand their adventure outward, maybe they can take a look at Called to the Green by Man Alone, available on Drive-Thru RPG, not associated or endorsed by Free League. Okay, so because of this, there is this mission worksheet, which is looking pretty cool. And I think we should be able to, well, at the very least, we should be able to copy this from the back. Yeah. So this is sort of a summary for companion sheets. Yeah, so this is an additional sheet here, and oh, cool. So you have a mission roster. So I wonder if this is sort of like a you're doing a little bit of a party management here with your allies. Okay, keep losing my page here. And there are 2 bookmarks. I don't know why I'm not using them. Yeah, these are ally cards. Your band has 5 dispositions representing their focus and abilities. Expertise, maneuver, spelled in that weird British way with an O, rally, vigilance, and war. Dispositions are used instead of skills and combat proficiencies when resolving challenges. A disposition roll functions like a skill roll. When rolling for the band, man, are you going to do it for the band? Roll 1 feat die and a number of success die equal to disposition rating. Dispositions are rolled against the band's readiness target number. Okay. Expertise is a broad disposition, skills and knowledge. Maneuver is basically traveling. Rally is endurance or hardiness or resilience. Vigilance is attentiveness, and war is their combined strength. And then they can be personalized with gifts, quirks. They can get conditions. And let's just check out leveling here. When an ally distinguishes themselves through acts of bravery, comradeship, or martial prowess, you can grant them hardened status. This reflects an ally's experience, their knowledge of Moria, and their great deeds at your side. Optionally, you can also award a hardened ally a title to celebrate their exploits. I call thee Tim. Including hard-eyed allies in the roster of a mission bolsters the band's overall strength. So that this is shaping up to be pretty cool, like stable management here. Now, this is what I'm curious about, role-playing your allies. For the most part, you play from the perspective of your player hero, leading and directing your allies. Their ability to take action and resist hardships is represented by disposition rolls, but keep in mind these are free-minded folk. They should not be portrayed as puppets. If unsure how an ally will act or react in an unusual situation, use tools such as the telling table on 207. Now we've piqued Manalone's interest. So all a bunch of solo tools here. The telling table. Roll a feat die. The answer is yes if you roll 1 or greater certain, 4 or greater likely, 6 or greater middling, doubtful, unthinkable, and then the elven roll is always yes and the I is always no. This is looking pretty cool, folks. I gotta say it. Who knew? Who knew if somebody sends me a free review copy and I'd be like, wow, this is really cool. But no, this is actually really cool. So this is on starting allies. And I do want to leave a little of this, obviously up to discovery for those who are interested in buying it. But even if I were to go page by page in this solo supplement and read it top to bottom, if you're solo playing here, you're going to be moving back and forth through this book, just pulling from these tables and tools that are there. I'll never forget a comment on the channel one time when somebody was like, why do people care so much about tables for solo play? I solo play and barely use tables. And I'm like, I think you're just imagining stuff then. You're just doing make-believe, which is fun, but tables are life. Tables are love. So these are quirks and names. I always got to roll up a name here. Wow. Additional dwarvish names in the One Ring core rules. Okay. So my name could be Builder Bruni Mondel. Sounds like a vice presidential candidate from 1980. Oh no, that's Mondale. Okay. Planning a mission. In this phase, you decide the nature of your upcoming mission and ready the members. Have a fresh mission worksheet handy. You'll use this sheet to note your band stats and assemble your roster. Hot dog. Okay, so we're going to set the objective, choose allies, set the composition, set the hunt threshold. The hunt threshold. At the time of Balin's expedition, Soren is awake and his spies and servants are on the hunt. So this is kind of like the threat clock here, I think. Moria is considered a dark land. The default base hunt threshold is set at 14. If you successfully push back the influence of shadow in a region of Moria in the course of your missions, you can mark that region as a wild land. Any such victories are undoubtedly short-lived but may permit safer travel. If you travel outside of Moria, use the table below to set your base hunt threshold for the mission. This goes from Borderland, Wildland, Darkland. Undertaking missions. Taking the lead. These rules often dictate whether you act as your player hero or make a role for the band. For example, seek to inspire allies. It is your player hero's enheartened skill that will be tested. When the band suffers a harmful event, make an endurance test using their rally. Other times, you are left to decide who steps to the fore in action, choosing between your player hero and one or more members of the band. In these cases, pick whoever is the most suited to the situation or who would insist. It's going to, you know, band full of dwarves, like they're all going to insist. So let's just take a look at some of the solo tools. So we looked at that telling table. Looks like there's a lore table, fortune and ill fortune tables, special success table, and milestones. Friends, this is very nice. Okay, here's why this is very nice. Let me show you. Let me reveal. All right, not to keep comparing it to the Dragonbane solo rules, but this is the fortune chart and the inspiration table, and it's a really nice, effective, concise inspiration table. And we have action, attribute, thing, but here we have approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have approximately or exactly 12 of these, which have, here it's action, attribute, thing. This is action, aspect, focus, feature. This is going to give tons of variability here, and this is so cool. Okay, use the lore table to help reveal details when asking an open-ended question. The table includes 4 columns: action, aspect, focus, and feature. You can roll on one column for a single word prompt or 2 or more. To roll on the table, use 1 feat die to determine the section and 1 success die for the row. Okay, so I guess let me just try it here. So if we do a 5, okay, and then row 1, guide 2. I wonder if it would be good to jump around or if these are sort of like coherent. Oh, they just look alphabetical actually. So we could probably roll, okay, the I and 2, that's guide, cruel. Okay. 4, 1, history, Elvin, Simon, 2, artwork, guide, cruel, history, artwork. Okay, so like that's a great, like that would be great for like a mission, like they find some old, very valuable dwarven artwork, which, my gosh, that has to be extremely rare. And so that would be really expensive, and you have to like bring it to some other place. You got to bring it to the surface or something like that. So cool. Okay, then we have fortune and ill fortune. Special success. When successful action also produces 1 or more elvish symbols on your success die. The one on the the feat die is a rune, and then the 6-sided die actually has like the elvish symbol, which I think now, yeah, it's just kind of tucked into the corner there, which is a 6. Unlike the whims of fortune and ill fortune indicated by a rune or Sauron, an icon on the feat dice, the outcome of this can be interpreted as a direct result of preparedness and skills. You can specify what your superior result means by spending your rolled icons to trigger a number of special results. So this would be cancel a failure, score an additional success, gain insight, go quietly, make haste, widen influence. And then you get these different milestones, which will give you adventure and skill points. War parity stats. So it has Horde, Warband, Pack, and Patrol to kind of like level based on how many you have. Battlefield aspect, arch foe modifiers, clash sequence. So select your leader focus, set the band stance. So I guess it would be, so this isn't as bad actually as I was imagining. So you have aggressive, balanced, guarded, fleeing. Oh, maybe that's a little different. Yeah, because it's a band stance instead of an individual, right? So you so I guess I'm not sure if you'd use these ones. Clash setback, clash success, and then you can do duels. So if like you have like a kind of zoom in on two people doing a duel, fighting lone foes, other actions, councils, journeys, Moria solo journey events. Wow. And then we have the fellowship phase. In the fellowship phase, your player hero and their band of allies returns to Balin's camp in the first hall to rest, recuperate, and undertake downtime activities, healing, communing with Balin and other members of the expedition, and preparing your next journey. So you could do a hurried rest, or I guess a hurried fellowship phase, brief or extended, which would be weeks. There are rules for returning to the safe haven. There are ways that the fellowship can be interrupted. You can improve allies and... Oh, you can establish new safe havens. Well, I'm pretty... When I first got this, it was one of those things where I was like a little bit worried that maybe my reach would exceed my grasp. Like definitely this is going to require me to learn some new things here, right? I'm going to have to take a look at the mechanics of One Ring, see if I will be able to just get used to that and play that intuitively without constantly referencing things. But what I see here is a pretty excellent solo supplement that has lots and lots of tools, and I would have to play through it a couple times. You know, some things that I am wondering about as I was paging through, and I might be like way out of line here. Is do I have to use Balin as my patron? Can I use some of the other patrons listed? Can I rotate leaders of my warband so that it's not always my main player character that's taking the lead? Can I rotate the POV on that? It does seem like it has, pretty liberal options for kind of leaving Moria. So it doesn't seem like this is something where they expect you to be there the whole game. It seems that they wrote this as for a group that's been playing One Ring. They want to have this new adventure through Moria, and players who are interested in this can then also use these new tools for solo play. But I'm trying to think through Free League's solo options, and I mean, let's think here. So we have Dragonbane, we have Twilight 2000, we have Walking Dead, Electric State. If you didn't check out that one, actually on the most recent podcast from this past weekend, BB55 and myself, we played. It was like a kind of a fun session, but it showed off some of the really cool mechanics in that. That's another great solo option. I see them steadily improving the thoroughness of these solo options. They're not afterthoughts. These are really good solo options here. And yeah, so okay. So that's right. So Strider mode also has these lore tables, and I'm wondering here if these lore tables are the same or if they're different from Strider mode, because that's that unfortunately I don't have like in my head the ability to compare and contrast here. So yeah, interestingly, Abandon, attack, betray, corrupt, defeat, weaken. Yeah, so these look like they are pretty much. No, there's some changes here. There's some changes. There looks like there's some more options here, or at least the order of them is different. And then, of course, this one has action, aspect, focus, whereas this has action, aspect, focus, and feature. So there's an additional column there. I don't know how much of an effect that's going to have, but with these powers combined, folks, I think this might allow us to play a solo campaign with the same group. Obviously, we would have to like kind of manage the transition from, you know, playing as a Strider on the surface, and then we'd have to see how useful these are for coming out of Moria and playing with this band. But I can't anticipate that it would be that difficult to do. Maybe if there's changes in the stances or stuff like that, but none of this seems like it's so different that it wouldn't be able to be translated or sort of interlinked. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. For those, I know there are those of you out there who have played a lot of Strider mode. What's your impressions of this? What did I miss? What did I not get right? What am I oohing and eyeing at that is already in Strider mode? What's new? What are welcome changes? What are things that you think might be difficult to manage or fun to manage? I think just having this roster and being able to choose like who's the best members of the team for the job is a mechanic that I love doing that in video games. And so I imagine that it's going to be a similar enjoyment in this. But yeah, let me know what you think. And I'm especially interested if any of you have played Moria either in group play or solo play. And thank you once again to Free League for sending this over. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I would say this is one that you want to consider picking up. Thanks. Oh, crap.